On today's video, I will show you how to build this treehouse base. I will not be showing you how to build it block by block. Instead, I would rather you use your own creative touch and make this your own. This is your world, your build. Alright, let's get started. I'm starting with a 3x3 of mossy dark oak, and I'll use some stairs and some logs to extend the roots out a little bit. I think I'll use these roots as the doorway. Oak will contrast nicely with the rest of the build. Now let's make our way up to the top. Let's go ahead and extend the trunk all the way up. And we'll put some additional logs here on the sides as well. This will give it a more realistic look from far. Use stairs and logs to continue to extend out the roots a little bit, and you can use stairs to round out the edges like this. Use trapdoors and slabs for texturing as you bring the roots outward. I'm going to go ahead and place a couple lanterns here, and let's take a look and see how it's coming out so far. Alright, so let's extend this all the way up here, and then we'll begin to do the branches. I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll use an upside down stair like this, and then we'll bring the branches out, and up, and out, and up. And then we'll spread it out in different directions a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the same thing here. We'll go ahead and branch this out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and step up, and we'll step out, and we'll spread this all around like the other one. And let's take a look at what it looks like so far. I think for the next branch, I'm going to do it diagonally right here. I'll keep stepping up diagonally and then spread this out on the top like I did with the other two branches. What do you think of it so far? Please let me know in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and use some stairs here to add some additional texture on these branches. I don't know if I like these fences here, but we could always remove them later. Let's go ahead and put a fallen log right here. We can extend some slabs here at the top of the trunk to make the floor of the treehouse. I'll use a plank with some fences to make the walls, and then we'll go ahead and put a roof on top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and use some slabs to frame out where the walls would be. I don't think this thing's going to have walls though. We'll see. So I placed a plank on top of each of the column of fences, and we're going to use fences to step up, and then I think we'll use stairs on top of those for the roof. I think I'm going to go ahead and use slabs instead. I like the idea of leaving this open air. The idea is that it's very hot here and there's no air conditioning, so we would rely on wind to keep the space cool. So we'll leave the sides kind of open, and hopefully this looks good. So I like this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and extend these stairs out like this and just kind of make this more of a closed roof. Also, I eyeballed this and it came out perfect, like by accident. So if you're doing this and it doesn't look even like this, you may just have to extend the sides out by one block so you can get that roof even. So let's go ahead and work on the inside a little bit. I want to do a little stairway here. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I know it's going to be around here. I might not be able to make it 2 blocks wide, but we'll see how this looks. Next, I'm going to extend some slabs out here to make the second floor. I think we're just going to go ahead and terminate them on each of the 4 fences. Might as well extend those fences all the way out and offer a little bit of protection while we're up here. And we need to make sure this area is well lit, so I'm just going to go ahead and place a couple lanterns here on either side. See how that looks. Yeah, I think 2 over is good. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Coming back down to the first floor, I decided to put some fences around the edges like this. These are one-way fences because you can jump out, but the mobs cannot get in. Do me a favor and drop a like if you think I'm doing a good job so far. And back to the fences on the second floor. We really need to make sure we don't fall off of this thing. Alright, let's take a look. Let's see how it's coming out so far, and I gotta say I like it. It's gonna really come together once we get some leaves. I'm gonna try to put some slabs and some stairs here and see how this looks. Alright, let's take a little break from outside and let's work on some interior decorating. Let's start with the enchanting table. I'm also going to put a chiseled bookshelf to put all my best enchanted books. And let's put a couple of furnaces here. Let's use some walls to extend it up like a chimney. Then we just have to square this off on the top and we can place a fireplace in the middle. Next, let's extend the walls up a few more blocks and we'll patch any holes in the roof that we made. I'm going to go ahead and change these walls that touch the stairs with solid blocks so that way it looks better. I'm going to replace these 2 walls as well and place stairs up against them. Let's get an armory going here. No armory is complete without an anvil.
Subscribe.
We also need an armor stand, and let's go ahead and slap some armor on. So let's get a couple barrels down here, and I think I'm going to put a campfire on top, and then I'm going to snuff the fire out. And a crafting table. Next, let's work on the bedroom. I'm going to start by placing 2 beds, and we'll place a couple stairs behind it. And then we'll place signs on the side. And I think I want to use chiseled bookshelves here. But I think we're going to have to switch this back out to oak stairs, and then we'll finish this off with some candles. That's looking pretty good. Next, I'm going to place some upside down stairs to make a little table here. Alright, so we don't have a lot of room here, so I'll squeeze one chair in on this side and another one here in the middle. On the table, I placed a flower pot and a cornflower. The furnace gets another barrel, and let's put some chests down here. I'm going to place some carpets on the floor here too. Let's get some lanterns here on top of the bookshelves. And another one here on top of the crafting table. And let's go ahead and put a couple lanterns here on the fences too. Next, I filled in the leaves around the branches. I'm going to begin to fill in the leaves on the bottom. I'm going to leave some of the wood exposed, but the idea is to kind of bubble the leaves downward and upward to give it that more 3D look. And I would suggest covering the branches on the top with leaves so that way you don't have to worry about mobs spawning here.
Subscribe.